This program contains true stories of rescues. All of the 911 calls you will hear are real. Whenever possible, the actual people involved have helped us reconstruct the events as they happened. We begin in Pembroke Pines, Florida, on May 30th, 1993, at the home of Brad Varnum and his family.
Yeah! Did you see her take her first bite?
It was day before Memorial Day, and we were celebrating my daughter Jillian's first birthday. Neil and Jared and Justin, they had gone over to the pool area. They go to the pool area every day. It's not something that we even give a second thought to because it's directly across from our house.
13-year-old Neil Malden lived nearby.
My friend introduced me to Justin and Jared, and we just started hanging out with each other, and now we're really good friends. We were just playing catch the ball there in the water, and I was like just throwing it to both of them, and it just went right through them. Justin went to get the ball. We just thought he got hurt, like hurt his back or something. Justin! Jared just grabbed Justin, and then I realized he had been shot.
When we continue,
I got to the scene, and they were both unconscious, and it was, as a dad, it's like your worst nightmare not knowing who you can help first.
when 14-year-old Justin Varnum was accidentally electrocuted at the swimming pool near the family's home, his younger brother Jared tried to help him and was also shocked. Their friend ran to tell the boy's father, Brad, what had happened.
Jared and Justin,
we thought he was kidding at first, and he actually was just so frantic. And then he said, I think something's happening. I think they're being shocked. I got to the scene, and they were both unconscious. They were both blue. And it was, as a dad, it's like your worst nightmare not knowing who you can help first. I didn't know where a breaker was, and I wasn't going to be able to separate them by touching them, because every time I did, it was shocking me. So I stuck my hand down Jared's pants, and Jared just kind of plopped off. I was checking for a pulse. I was trying to see if there was any feeling, any respiration. I really couldn't feel anything at all.
Pembroke Pines Fire Rescue.
Yes,
Their mother, Linda, called for help from the house.
At this point, I wasn't hysterical because I didn't know what the situation was over there, and I wasn't quite sure what to tell them even.
I worked on Jared, and Jared started to gurgle and seemed like he was at least being able to breathe on his own. When I touched Justin now, the shock was a lot stronger. I remember bracing both arms through his suit and just pulling. And Jared just kind of plopped off. I mean, it was almost so easy. But here's Justin, who's been on the pole the entire time, and I couldn't get him free. I mean, I pulled and I pulled, and I couldn't get him free. And then to see him not be able to get free, to see him not be able to come off and not be able to start working on it. And I'm thinking the whole time, I got to get him off here. I got to get him off here. Justin finally just kicked off. Help! Help! He was not responsive. Jared had initially come out of it, relatively quick. I mean, there was such a sense of relief when he started to respond. It was like, he's going to make it. You felt that. Justin just didn't come back.
Honey, you okay? Breathe.
You always have this feeling that the worst thing that could ever happen in your life is that you could lose a child. And at this point, I had things running through my head about losing two of them at the same time.
Within 5 minutes of the call, Pembroke Pines fire rescue units got to the scene, including paramedic Lou Natina.
You got him, Chino?
Jared was breathing much easier than his brother Justin.
He's breathing. You go ahead and get.
Justin was moving very little. The moans that were coming out of him were painful, and he was unconscious.
Double check the fence.
When paramedic Lieutenant Michael Hole arrived, he took charge of the scene.
Usually an electrocution injury, the external signs are very limited, where the internal signs that you can't see may be very devastating. The thermal injury that the electricity would cause could lead to anything from respiratory arrest to cardiac arrest to spinal cord injuries, and I had feared the worst for them.
As they were moving them out, they were just making this guttural noise, like coming from the deepest part of their insides. That's another one of those snapshots, to see your boys in such tremendous pain and know that there was nothing you could do for them.
Both brothers were taken to Memorial Hospital, where a trauma team was waiting, including emergency physician Doug Smith.
Hang in there. We're just waiting for the.
Jared was the first patient to arrive. His heart was beating well, he had a good pulse, and he was conscious.
All right, come on, let's go. Let's get him back.
The older child, Justin, arrived shortly thereafter.
We do not able to.
He was not stable by any definition of the term.
Having several episodes of vomiting, and
His breathing was close to non-existent.
I'm sure.
Justin was essentially dying in front of our eyes.
I was in the bed right next to him, and I heard the people talking. I didn't know if he was going to make it. I just didn't think it was fair that he got it so bad, and I didn't.
We have had a successful stabilization of your son to this point.
He said that Jared was starting to respond, but Justin was not responding well. They said that he was pretty much out of it, and that there was a good possibility that it might be a real long night for us.
There is no way in the emergency department to tell to what degree that child's brain has been damaged. You don't know. Electrical injuries are a big mystery. They can vary so widely in person to person.
I remember it was starting to get daybreak, and it just seemed like the night had taken forever. I remember Justin starting to respond, and to have him wake up Memorial Day and say, "Hey, Dad, it's Memorial Day," and to be able to communicate and have the presence of mind to understand what day it was after all he had been through that night, it was just a real reassuring event.
6 months have passed. Their lives are slowly returning to normal.
I'm extremely proud of the way that they've come through this. It's an awesome feeling to look at them and realize how much worse things could have been. And I don't think we realized that until maybe even weeks later.
14-year-old Justin still has some nerve damage in his left leg.
It's hard sometimes. It's very hard. But my dad's always remind me when I do get frustrated that, well, you could be in a wheelchair watching this instead of out here trying to get back.
How you feel?
And I'm really happy that I'm back the way I am.
12-year-old Jared has also had some problems, including with his vision.
They told me to expect problems running out of breath and pulling muscles a lot easier. I have thought about it, that it could have been worse, and I'm just glad that it wasn't, because I'm just thankful for the people that were there. It helped.
The first time we ever got to go out, we went over to the fire station.
The firemen just don't get to see the good side of the situations that they're involved in. There's so many times that all they see is the tragedy. We felt it was very important to go back and let them know how much that meant to us, what they had done for our boys that night. They were sitting down.
It was one of the best feelings I think I've ever experienced in my career here. To see them walking around, being able to talk. It couldn't have been scripted any better.
Neil's a very good kid. He had the presence of mind to come over and get Linda and myself, as opposed to trying to help himself. If he had done that, one of the three of them might not have made it off the pool area that night.
Next.
It was fully involved. Under normal situations, you would never go into a house that was this bad.
Firefighters face every fire with a buried concern for their own safety. On August 30th, 1993, a call came into 911 in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and for one group of firefighters, the threat of death took on a very real dimension that could no longer be ignored. 10:03 p.m.
Tulsa Fire Department. You probably already know, but we can see that a house is burning behind our house. Okay, and it's a house fire? Yes. Do you know if anyone is inside? No, because it's like a street or two behind us, but we can see the flame. Okay, we're on the way. Thank you.
It's engine 32, engine 29.
Engine 28, engine 23, engine 6, ladder 29, ladder 28, district 5, house fire, next door to 704 South Avenue, map page 196. Responding company, we've got visible flames, smoke, it's fully involved. We're going to need a line, and we need next in company to do some spark control.
After 13 years with the Tulsa Fire Department, Tom Nicholas was a captain. Among the three men under his command that night was 29-year-old Darrell Eccles.
Darrell! All of us guys are close, but I've always looked up to Tom, being the aggressive firefighter that he is. About a third of the house was on fire, all over the garage, and we noticed there was a window over the garage. But we didn't know if there was people there or not, so we felt it very important to get up into the attic to get into the bedroom we thought was there.
All right, let's get in here and bring it out!
Ronnie had the hose line, and Tom and I were backing him up. There was fire everywhere.
Check the house on either side for exposure.
Like Darrell, Ron Wilson had only been a firefighter for 3 years.
Ronnie, go get the ladder, all right?
Normal procedure is to go in and do an interior attack. And Captain Nicholas, it's his call to decide whether it's too dangerous. Darrell went up the ladder first, Captain Nicholas followed him, and then I went up.
When we got up there, we realized it wasn't a bedroom, it was an attic.
Hey, keep an eye on us.
Some people fight it from the outside with foam, and we go inside, try to push the fire out.
Go ahead and pull the freaking neck off and hit the front door. Needs more pressure? Okay, watch the ceiling. It's coming apart.
And we've advanced probably 20 or 30 feet into the attic of the house. Tom grabbed me on the shoulder. His feet were on fire. The fire was starting to come to the floor.
Get a little head back here. Get a little head.
We both enjoyed fighting fire quite a bit. We high-fived, started having a good time.
All right, get in. There it is. It's going across. We're getting there. It's right there.
Someone grabbed me on the shoulder again. I thought it was Tom. And I was going, why is Tom pointing at this hole in the floor? So I shot water down in there, thinking that's what he wanted me to do.
Get the
instantly grabbed me by the shoulder again, turned me around. At that time, I noticed it was a black helmet instead of a red helmet. The captain wears a red helmet in the Tulsa Fire Department. Then I realized what happened. Tom had fell down through the hole.
There were 3 rooms that he could have fallen in from where he was located in the attic.
I'm out here! I gotta lose this man!
Our bells started ringing and we were running out of oxygen at that time.
Tom!
We were breathing poisonous gases, a lot of heat. We knew that since we had ran out of air, that he had to be out of air, because all 3 of us had been up there the same amount of time.
You guys seen Tom?
I heard another firefighter say, "They've got him, he's out."
Hey, come on out! Tom, are you out here? Have you seen Captain Tom Nicholas? No, I ain't.
This is when I started worrying about Tom because we didn't find him.
8 minutes had passed since Tom had disappeared through the floor of the attic.
Go ahead and send EMS out here. We have a firefighter that's fallen.
It was almost the point of panic.
Come on, we gotta go.
I didn't really have time to think, is he dead, is he alive? I just knew he was still in there and we had to get him.
Did you see Tom? No.
Firefighter David Casey joined in the
Come on,
search.
guy. Who are you?
Captain Nicholas, he's a friend of mine. And I thought, this can't be. This is not happening. It felt like a nightmare.
Tom!
At this point, it was fully involved. Under normal situations, you would never go into a house that was this bad.
Tom! Talk to us, buddy! I know you're in here!
Do we have a status on our injury? Not yet. We're still trying to locate him.
Guys, I got a room to my right. I'm gonna search it out.
It was a real confusing floor plan.
Go. Tom! Tom!
I began feeling the walls.
Tom!
I made my way around the room, was bumping into some furniture.
Tom, where are you? Tom!
I had said a little prayer before I went in. I said, "Dear God, help us find him." As I put that helmet back on my head, that voice inside me said, "Turn around." And I was still on my knees. I turned around and saw a reflection of his stripe on the back of his bunker coat.
Tom! 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 Tom!
When you see one of your own laying there and he's motionless, and you touch him and you speak to him and he doesn't respond to you, it kind of sends chills up your spine.
He's unconscious, guys. Let's get him out. There's no mask on him.
I've not seen anything like this before. This was a first. And when I saw Tom down, it was really emotional.
Come on, let's get him up. Come on.
I can't even describe the feelings.
Come on, Tom. Get him out of here. Come on, Tom. Come on, Tom. Hang in there.
I thought that with him being that still that he may be dead. And I couldn't really, in my mind, let that happen.
Breathe, Tom. Tom. Breathe.
I said, I don't think he's breathing.
Breathe, buddy. Breathe. Come on. I think he's breathing. Don't give up, Tom. Come on, buddy. Come on, Tom.
He kind of coughed up, gurgled a little bit. It just sounded terrible.
Breathe, Tommy. We need O2, man. We need it.
There was confusion everywhere. People were bringing water up, trying to pull his body temperature off.
Get you out of here, Tom. Come on, Tommy. Breathe.
I knew that all we could do was pray.
An EMSA ambulance arrived almost immediately, including paramedic Gayleen Risoa.
We asked the firefighters to put the patient down so we could continue ALS care, but they were so emotionally charged, they just kept going towards our unit.
Yep, there it is. Come on, Tommy.
He was dying and they knew it.
Just fell through and was gone. I don't know what happened.
If I can get you to take over bagging him right here. There were burns on his body, mostly second-degree burns.
Hang in there, bud.
There was a lot of steam coming off of his chest, off of his face. Inburn patients, their airways will swell up rapidly. Thus, if we can't get a tube into their lungs to help them breathe, I was very afraid that this patient was not going to survive.
35-year-old Tom Nicholas was admitted to St. Francis Hospital under the care of emergency physician Michael Bartlett.
When I first saw him, my initial impression was that he was dead.
Does he have a pulse?
The paramedics were in a somewhat agitated state, realizing that they did not have an airway established.
Alan, give me a pressure.
To an emergency physician, this is the most frightful period of time that one experiences.
He fell about 12 feet. They said he was standing up on the rafters.
He was totally unconscious in a coma, and he was only breathing 6 times a minute.
Somebody get 1,000 of saline.
We used a stylet, a small wire that we introduced down into his trachea, and over that we placed the oral tracheal tube. And by that means, in a blind manner, we were able to establish an airway in this gentleman.
Tom, this medicine's gonna make you real relaxed. Just take it easy.
We knew by x-rays that his back, neck were not injured, but the big concern was what injury had his brain suffered from the lack of oxygen.
Charlotte, I know he's gonna look bad.
Tom's wife, Charla, came to be with him as soon as she heard what had happened.
Thank you. If you need anything, I'll be outside.
It wasn't reality at all. I thought he was invincible. I kept thinking, how am I going to tell my children? They love him so much. I could not imagine life without him. I thought, how can I go on? Everybody's here. I started thinking to myself, if he's going to have brain damage, I know that he's always told me he would just rather not even be here. We love you, we need you. And I just kept thinking, you've got to pull through. You've got to pull through.
Four months later, Tom continues to recover from a shoulder injury sustained in the fall and severely burned lungs.
I will never forget walking out of ICU the first morning and having about 50 firefighters standing at the end of the hall. Watch them cry when they saw Tom, tears streaming down their face. Tom had always told me what a bond there was between firefighters, and it's something that you cannot understand until you have experienced it.
Doing good.
I feel like a very lucky man. I was trapped inside the fire for 22 minutes, approximately 17 minutes without air. I should not be here. I remember crawling off to the furthest point away from the fire, to the coolest point I could find. And I began to pray. And I wasn't scared anymore. I remember crying as I began to think about my family. I was going to miss them. I would miss them running up and giving me hugs as I come home from work. I would miss holding Charla. I would miss watching my boys grow up. My little girl grow up. And my last thought as I laid there was not kissing Brittany goodbye the morning that I left for the fire station. The guys that saved me, I'll never forget it. They, 5 of them actually were hospitalized getting me out. They had smoke inhalation. They were burnt, and they risked their lives to pull me out. And it's a bonding that most people will never know.
All of us guys are close, but it's definitely brought us a lot closer together now. When you save someone's life together, save someone, it's an incredible feeling.
In February of 1994, Tom returned to work as a firefighter.
I think he has learned to maybe be a little bit more cautious. It might have slowed him down somewhat, but not a lot. Not enough. We know that it could have gone either way, that if God had been ready for him to go, he would have gone. When I see him kissing the kids and playing with them, interacting, I can't imagine him not being there. I just thank God every day that he's still with us and that my children still have him.
About 2 Saturdays ago, my 5-year-old was giving me the third degree. Dad, why is the earth round? Dad, how come the sun's up in the daytime and not in the nighttime? And I just became overwhelmed with happiness that I was there to hear this. And I began to cry. And he says, Daddy, what are you crying for? He goes, are you sad? And I said, no. I said, these are tears of happiness. And he didn't understand that, but I do.
Next.
Heard someone yelling, choking, and I opened up the door expecting to find a human being, and it was just a pile of fur laying on the floor of the truck.
Love is a force so magical and powerful that it stirs the soul. It triggers emotions so strong they sometimes cause us to act irrationally and even dangerously, as Lisa Freeman discovered on the evening of September 7th, 1993, in the tiny town of Presque Isle, Maine.
I was tired coming home to an empty house and I needed a companion. Harley, he's just a doll. He's my man.
But for the past 2 years, Lisa's affections have also been courted by Greg Roderick.
I don't think I come a close second to Harley. No.
Hey, he doesn't complain, doesn't tell me what to do, you know, he's always in a good mood. I love him.
Oh, Harley, come here. Come here. Good boy. Good boy. Inside?
Harley tears the siding from the garage. But that's okay, because that's Harley. Harley breaks windows. That's okay. Harley chews anything he wants to. Harley can chew a beer can to shreds. Figure that.
He's a Springer Spaniel, 53 pounds. He's all dog. He's a bonehead. It was about 9:20 that evening when I got home and grabbed his ball and started throwing it.
Get the ball. Get it. Get it, Harley. Come on. Harley, what's the matter? Are you okay? What's the matter? Get it out. Cough it out. Come on, get it out.
The ball just went down the hatch. The thought never entered my mind that he would ever swallow it. It just never entered my mind. And then his paws came up around his mouth, like he was trying to get it out of his mouth.
Harley, what's the matter? What's the matter? You okay?
I tried doing the Heimlich maneuver on him, thinking that maybe he would cough the ball up.
Come on. Come on, get it out. Get it out. Come on. Get it. Come on. Get it out. Come on. Come on. You be okay? Harley.
He went down. His breathing just got really intense and loud. He was really gasping for air.
You'll be okay.
My main concern was I needed to get help. I needed somebody to help me.
Okay. Hold on. You doing okay? Okay.
I was very calm with him. But my inside and my mind, I was just a wild woman. I was going to my brother's because his wife is a nurse. She helps people. I thought she could help Harley. He just stopped breathing at that time, passed out onto the floor.
Oh, no.
I thought I had lost him.
Come on. Stay with me. Come on, stay with me. I love you.
I thought, why? Why does this have to happen? If he's just a dog playing in the kitchen having fun, why let something like this kill him and to have him taken away from me? The next thought that came in my mind was paramedics at the fire station. They save people's lives.
Hang in there, Bob.
They've got to be able to help me. Just floored the truck. I just gave it all I had. I knew he had stopped breathing from the time that I stopped at that stop sign. It seemed like hours.
At the Presque Isle Fire Station, paramedic firefighter Rich Wark was on duty.
He's choking on a ball.
Heard someone yelling, choking, and I opened up the door expecting to find a baby, a child, a human being, and it was a dog. I just couldn't believe it was a dog there, but it didn't, I just kept going. It just kept reacting to the situation. I can see it. I can't get my fingers around it. This dog was just a pile of fur laying on the floor of the truck. No breathing, no rasping, and he might have had a heartbeat. I couldn't feel one. Come on, dog. As far as I knew, this dog was dead. That's a ball.
I stood around inside the fire station. I didn't dare go looking at the truck to see how Harley was, because I was sure he had died.
Nothing else. Jeez, I can almost get it. It looked to me like it was down behind his tongue. Come on, just below the base of his tongue. That's why maybe he couldn't bring it up. And I couldn't get my fingers down around the ball.
Firefighter Dale Morrison was also trying to help.
He took both hands and he was just, prying the dog's mouth open. And that point the dog was not fighting it or resisting it at all. So that gave me another indication that, he's not going to make it.
Come on.
But he had his hand in there quite a ways up to his wrist.
Finally, I pushed from the outside on his throat a little bit and grabbed the ball at the same time, and I popped it out.
There it is, we got it.
When they got the ball out, I didn't hear any of the guys saying, "Oh, good, you're doing okay, you'll be okay." I heard no response.
Yeah, you have to help me.
That was probably the most scariest point.
Okay. He really didn't revive much, and I couldn't feel a heartbeat on his side. So I went and I grabbed his snout, and I was about to give him mouth to snout, and he kind of made like a snort with his mouth, so I knew he was breathing then. Lisa said, "Harley, how you doing?" And his little tail started wagging, and he started coming out of it then.
Hi, Harley. Hi, Harley.
Words can't explain what came over me at that time.
Doing better.
Boy.
All right.
I was so happy to see that he was gonna make it.
Gonna be okay?
And I just knelt down, just hugged him, gave him a hug.
How you doing? You be okay?
All that night, I got up every 2 hours to check on him. And in the morning, he was just jumping around, back to himself. The bonehead.
There he is.
Come on. There he is.
Recently, Lisa and Harley stopped by the station to visit Rich and the other firefighters.
Yeah.
I can't thank Rich enough for the way that he reacted instantly, just ran out and knew instantly what to do.
Got a souvenir for you. My job is it's a different challenge every day, and a good paramedic improvises and overcomes, what's thrown his way, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. This time it did.
She was really surprised and happy that the dog was going to be all right. It was almost like a newborn mother having a new child. It's a miracle.
Nice to see you. I think the ball was probably too small to be playing with. Just like with kids, you don't want to keep anything too small around marbles or things like that, candy. Definitely, I think the ball was too small.
I thought it was a lot bigger than that. It's wonderful that there's people like that in the world. So in my eyes, Rich, thanks again. He's a hero. And I'm sure in Harley's eyes, he's a hero.
Get it, Harley.
Harley graduated from obedience school 2 days before this event happened.
Come on.
They forgot the ballpark completely.
I won't let him play with anything that I can even think that he'll swallow. Maybe I'm overprotective.
Come on.
Harley, bring it up. Good boy.
I was married once. It was a great experience, but I prefer having a dog.
Next.
Even though he wanted to just ride around the house before he put the vehicle back in the garage, just that little extra time of putting on the helmet would have prevented the entire injury.
As parents, we like to give our children every opportunity and let them have experiences we never had when we were kids. But sometimes, despite our best intentions, we overestimate their readiness as Tiana Novinger and her husband discovered on August 16, 1989, in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. When Casey Novinger was 11 years old, his parents bought him an ATV for Christmas to share with his older brother, Clint.
I was in the garage with Kristen and Jason working on my cycle.
It was getting late, and Casey's mom was getting tired of hearing the motorcycle going around the house, I guess.
Casey!
I had gone out on the porch because I wanted Casey to come in. I said, I've heard enough of the cycle, and I think the neighbors have heard enough of it. And I had told him to come in now.
But before Casey did go in, he decided to make one more trip around the property.
I guess he tried to go up the bank and try and get to the top. I heard the engine stop. Then I heard faint yells, and I knew something must be wrong. Man, it is. Come on.
From where I was standing, we could see the thing upside down. I just saw blood everywhere. I never saw that much blood in my life.
I saw the motorcycle line on him and the blood coming out of his mouth and his nose and his ears. I knew it was serious.
You all right?
All of a sudden, I heard these loud, shrill screams. I knew right away it was something awful, so I jumped up and went to run towards the door when I met Clint. And he said, Mom, Casey's been hurt really bad, and he just ran to the telephone, and I ran out the door.
He wanted me to help him up, but I told him to just stay there and lay down and wait for help. All you can do is just stay there, man.
I saw Casey lying across the street, and there was a lot of blood. I knew that it wasn't just a little accident. I knew it was very serious, and I tried to keep calm, but inside I was torn apart completely.
Wait, how long is it going to take?
Clint called 911 to report the accident.
Take it easy. We're going to get somebody right there.
Emergency units in the area were immediately dispatched. One of the first rescuers to respond was volunteer paramedic Mike Kurtz.
I was on my way home from work, and we were dispatched to this motorcycle accident with a child possibly being unconscious and with severe head lacerations. Golf Med Chief 12 responding.
He was in shock, and he was just talking, but he was saying things that were very real to me. He was saying, please help me up, and please rub my stomach, and it really hurt me to see him like that.
Honey, you'll be okay. Grandma's coming. Oh, thank God, someone's here.
Casey's grandmother, Gladys Patrick, was visiting the family from out of town that week.
I'm a nurse, I'm a grandmother, and I know there's blood coming out of his ear. Oh my God, that could be brain damage.
What can I do? What can I do?
I was thinking, I've got to be the nurse now, not the grandmother. We've got to keep him quiet. We can't move him. He's got to lay still.
I'll be here soon. Okay. Okay.
At that time, Casey looked like he was losing consciousness, and I yelled to the children, please go get Mr. Frank.
Oh, Dr. Frank, please come help. Okay, please.
When I arrived, the one thing that I noticed immediately was that the boy was in his mother's arms, which is a very natural instinct, but obviously was the absolute worst thing that could have been done. He should have been left at the scene of the accident until the paramedics arrived.
Being up like this.
Dr. Frank came over and took Casey's head out of my lap and went to lay it down for me. He told me that he should be laying flat.
I then checked him as best as I could quickly, found that he had no obvious fractures of his limbs, but he did have blood coming out of his left ear, which is potentially a very grave circumstance. It usually indicates that there's a skull fracture at the base of the head.
He just kept getting paler, and I knew that he had lost a lot of blood, and to me, the essence was time.
Within 8 minutes of the call, paramedic Kurtz arrived on the scene.
When I arrived on the scene, I could tell that it was a severe type call because the child was barely moving. At this time, we did an initial survey, and it looked pretty grim then because of this profuse bleeding coming from his ears.
He said, I love you, Mommy, and I love you, Grandma. And he started drifting off at that point. I said, are those going to be his last words?
Calm down, Mom.
Kurtz radioed for an air ambulance.
Go ahead and dispatch Lifeline, Class 1 head trauma, obvious open skull fracture.
I didn't think it was really that bad at first, but then as things went on, I thought, you know, something permanent might happen. That's really my main worry. Something permanent was going to happen to him.
At this time, the basic life support ambulance from Dolphin arrived on the scene, and we could start immobilizing the child before loading the patient into the helicopter.
Jerry, go ahead and hold the head here. Put you on a real long course. Okay, 100% oxygen on you right here. Okay, just relax.
What do you got?
Okay, Roger, 11-year-old class 1 head trauma patient. Obvious open skull.
Just prior to loading the patient into the ambulance, the child's level of consciousness even decreased more. We have to be very concerned because this is an early stage of impending brain damage or possibly death occurring at this time.
All I could think in my mind was, as long as Casey lives, I can handle anything. He is very special. I can't say enough about him.
A nearby golf course became the landing zone for the Lifeline helicopter.
Casey, can you hear me?
12 Bravo, Roger, loud clear, understand, we'll be down in about 1 minute.
We knew that the patient needed to get out of there right away. One of the terms we use is hot loading, and that was requested in this case. And hot loading means that keep the engines running, we're not going to be that long.
One of the men from the helicopter came towards me and said, "You cannot go with Casey in the helicopter. You must go down in a car and you can meet him down there." So the whole way to the hospital, I just kept praying that he made it and he was okay.
Head injuries can be very tough to diagnose, and you never know what the outcome is. It still continually amazes me when some patients die and other people live.
4 minutes later, they arrived at Hershey Medical Center where a trauma team was waiting.
Chest is intact, no extremity.
At the family's request, their close friend, trauma surgeon Jay Smith, was also called in.
What do we have?
Okay, this is
One of the first things that went through my mind was that this was all so preventable. Since he didn't have any injuries outside of the head, he would have basically had no injuries. If he'd been wearing a helmet, even though he wanted to just ride around the house before he put the vehicle back in the garage, just that little extra time of putting on the helmet would have prevented the entire injury.
Oh, he's got a fracture here. It was obvious that the bone fragments had actually been pushed inward. There was some brain tissue actually in the field that had to be removed, that had been damaged. The eardrum itself had been totally smashed and was in fragments.
After a 4-hour brain surgery, Casey was moved to pediatric ICU.
I really felt like maybe he would not make it through if I was away from him. I thought if I could be there holding his hand and just be by his side, he would probably make it.
His parents stayed at his bedside throughout the 24-hour coma.
The next morning when I went in, Casey just opened his eyes and says, "Hi, Mom." And he said it so clear. And because he knew who I was and because of his voice and the way he talked, I knew at that point he was going to be okay.
Casey still suffers some headaches and has a 10% hearing loss.
I'm thankful to all the doctors and my grandma, my mom, and my dad, and Jason and Clint just for helping me and being there in the hospital all the time.
Okay.
I still like driving motorcycles and stuff, and I want to be a race car driver, but I know I always have my safety equipment, because if I would have had my helmet on, I probably could have just got up and walked away.
Estimated 19,000 injuries involving ATVs ridden by children under the age of 16. It's not safe for anyone under 16 to operate an adult-sized ATV, and anyone riding an ATV should always wear a helmet and other protective gear. This series is dedicated to all the loved ones, friends, and strangers who aid and comfort us in times of need. I'm William Shatner. Join us again next week for more true stories on Rescue 911.
step out of the car, please.